underway, and it's a good reaction time for Max Verstappen. Little bit of a wiggle when he applied the power for the second part of the start, but he maintains the lead. Charles Leclerc trying to go around the outside. How brave is he feeling? He's not. He's in second place, and it's Sergio Perez who finds himself in fourth. George Russell is in third place. The spinner was Lance Stroll in the background for Aston Martin. It's Max Verstappen with the lead. Who will be second? There's damage to one of the Saubers in the background there, falling to the back of the field. I believe it's Valtteri Bottas. Side by side, the two McLarens go. Verstappen, then Leclerc, Russell being harried, and it's Lando Norris who was ahead of his teammate. So that's Hülkenberg is cleared, and then they're going to have contact.
Oh, that's all on Hülkenberg, isn't it? Just drifted into the back and completely rear-ended Stroll.
Great getaway from Valtteri. There you can see Hülkenberg, and I think, does he touch the back of Hülkenberg as well?
That is a pass for position. That is Lando Norris getting past Fernando Alonso. Alonso pleasantly surprised yesterday that the green Aston Martin was quick over one lap, but he was worried. This is George Russell trying to go all the way around the outside and get past Charles Leclerc, and he'll do so. What a way to start your season, George Russell, with a fine move.
The McLarens have steadily passed Fernando Alonso. Lando did it a while ago. This is Oscar Piastri sneaking up the inside on the previous lap.
He draws alongside the Scarlet Ferrari. Leclerc has been driving on his mirrors time and time and time again. And to the inside, car 11 at turn 11, Perez improves. He's up to third place. And this is going to be how Sergio Perez got past.
It's going to be a lock-up, there it is. He got so close to Russell, actually, Leclerc, but he's kept doing that lock-up in these opening laps, and he's done it again on lap 7.
Lewis Hamilton is in the slipstream of Fernando Alonso. These two had a great battle here last year. There is no battle this year. Hamilton getting past, and Alonso's fears about the race pace are proving correct. Two Ferraris about to do battle. Monza all over again. Look at the sparks flying as the teammates go wheel to wheel. To the inside, Carlos Sainz. Charles Leclerc refusing to give it up, but he's got no choice. And that was elbows out brilliance from Carlos Sainz. Sainz has been called in. There is the one move you're allowed to make. Perez knows what's coming, tries the up and under, applies the power, super aggressive stuff, and position gained for Sergio Perez, who moves in to a net second place in the race.
Leclerc's also got ahead of Sainz in the pit stop phase. That's an interesting call from Ferrari to invert the cars effectively by pitting Leclerc first and giving him the undercut over his teammate.
That's a late lunge and a half, my word, from downtown to take the place from Carlos Sainz. He came from another postcode.
I love it. I love it. I love to see drivers having the confidence to send it on the brakes. And if you want to win races and you want to win championships, you've got to have that kind of bravery.
Oh, another chance, here we go. Big sparks flying down into turn number 1. Carlos Sainz has the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. He's got the bit between his teeth. He's got all the racing cliches that you want. But either way, he is driving in a way at this circuit that we've never seen from him before. It's been the Charles Leclerc show in the past. That is a rocket ship move. Say goodbye to Carlos Sainz because he's going to go and chase the Red Bulls. This is how he was able to take the place.
No fight at all from the Alpine, waving him through. It's a sorry state of affairs for Alpine, not least qualifying on the back row. And they're not even putting up a fight with an RB.
Horrible pit stop for Valtteri Bottas. He's been there for 39 seconds as they tried to get...
Wrong tyre.
Where have we gone here? Is that the nut being delivered? So that's the nut back to the gun. And this is game over, no matter what happens. So pit stops, this is one of greater consequence in the Grand Prix. George Russell coming in nice and early, getting another set of the hard tyres. Bottas, it's reminiscent of the nightmare he had in Monaco a few years ago. 52 seconds and race ruined. The Scuderia get out ahead of Lando Norris, who was the threat there. And it's very close in the background. And is it going to be a position gained? Piastri dives to the inside. Claims the place off the road. Tyres are cold. Hamilton takes it by the time they get to turn number 2, and it's 8th position for the Mercedes driver.
This next little section was quite telling, because he's quite close to George. Can he get away with turn 10 without any under rotation? Yes, he can, but no, George Russell can't.
George Russell off the road. Charles Leclerc will join him side by side, but with the inside line heading into turn 11, and all of that hard work, lap after lap after lap, pays off. The Ferrari is up to 4th place in the season opener Grand Prix, and Charles Leclerc finds a way back. The green Aston Martins on the main straight, and that swap of position for the drivers, two-time world champion and driver who's won here before, the only driver in the field who was racing here in 2004 in the first Grand Prix in Bahrain, that is still on the grid today, and he's up to 9th.
Yuki, driver swap, driver swap.
Are you kidding me now?
So Yuki doesn't love that idea. We're talking about working with the senior team. They've got to work with their own drivers at the moment.
So Ricciardo knows that...
There it is.
Yeah, there we go.
Opens the door. Ricciardo goes through. Tsunoda listening to the team instructions.
Yeah, thanks guys. I appreciate it.
Tsunoda didn't love the team instruction, and he's not being shy in reporting it. The Dutch driver continues his domination of Formula One. New year, but no new winner. Max Verstappen, still the driver to beat. Max Verstappen wins the season opener. He takes the Bahrain Grand Prix. And Max Verstappen is lighting up a trail once again. Red Bull expected, Red Bull delivered, and Perez comes across the line to make it a great day for Red Bull. They're 1 and 2 across the line, chased home by Carlos Sainz, who put together a superb performance down at turn 1 with overtake after overtake. He'll be satisfied. And the celebrations are underway. It was
all set, we're ready to go, so let's get the car out onto the track.
A statement drive of 57 laps of not attack all the time, but when he did need to attack, Max Verstappen underlined in block caps again. The Saudi Grand Prix is underway, and it's a good launch off the line for both Red Bulls. Charles Leclerc is under threat now for second place. Verstappen leads. Perez will get his nose ahead. Perez will get second place. Charles Leclerc's got the
Are you okay? That was a big one. Confirm you're okay, please.
Make their way through the first corners of the first lap. It's Verstappen, but Charles Leclerc fights back into second position. He went aggressive, and he maintains P2. That's Behrman off the road as he begins life in Formula One, slightly on the defensive. It's Verstappen, Leclerc, Perez, Alonso, Piastri and Norris, the top 6.
Well managed from Leclerc in those opening corners. Perez looked like he had got the job done, but Leclerc swept back around the outside of turn 2, which he can do because it gives him the inside for 4, and he made it stick. The rest of it looks fairly unchanged further back, but I'm pretty sure Lando Norris jumped the start.
Perez had a great opportunity here to take second place, David.
He did indeed, and you'd think he did all the hard work, but just when it came to sort of closing that space down, Charles Leclerc wasn't intimidated, and this is when it comes down to knowing your competitors. If that was Max Verstappen alongside Charles Leclerc, Max would have just run the car a little bit wider, making it absolutely clear that there was no space for Charles.
Lando Norris at the start, no further action. Behrman is starting his Formula One career on the front foot, but he's got to remember to stay to the right side of the line as around the outside goes Oscar Piastri on Fernando Alonso to take 4th place, and they're fighting all the way by as Behrman had to hobble all over the curb to keep his front wing. Here we go with Perez. This is the battle for second place. He's diving to the inside, and Sergio Perez finds his way by with the first opportunity that he had in the Grand Prix. Looked like he was going to take second place on lap number 1. Lap number 4, he's got 2.1 seconds between him and his teammate in the lead of the race. This is into turn 22. Look at how Bravo off the road and into the wall. A heavy one at turn 23. Lance Stroll into the barriers and out of the race.
In the wall.
Okay, can you bring it back, Lance?
Oh, in the wall.
No, copy that.
Easy to criticise, difficult to do, but he isn't a rookie.
Yeah.
Everyone is coming into the pits. This is going to be so busy. They're going to stick on a hard set of tyres and maybe try and go to the end from here. Really long-ranging one-stopper.
Crucially gets out before the Ferrari, and in this situation there'll be no question of unsafe release.
Yeah, and Perez flung into the path of Fernando Alonso as it is incredibly frantic stuff down there in the pit lane.
Oh, I need a crash with a Red Bull. So close.
Sergio Perez gets a 5-second penalty for an unsafe release. Here we go again. It is very tight between Oscar Piastri and Charles Leclerc for fourth. Lando Norris leads, then it's Max Verstappen, and that is very tight as Charles Leclerc stays ahead and fends off the Australian driver. Alonso trying to profit from it in the green Aston Martin. Has he got momentum to try and retake the place that he lost from Piastri earlier in the race? The answer's no, and they're close, but there's no change for position. Side by side, Albon goes. That is a tap, that is damage, and Ocon profited.
What is he doing?
Kevin Magnussen has been given a 10-second time penalty.
This is the Behrman move. Little dummy shimmy to the inside. Go on then.
I like that. I like that expression, the Behrman move.
Max Verstappen in the unusual position of being in second place. Not for long. Max Verstappen moves past and takes the lead from Lando Norris. He's back in the lead of the race, and he's not the only Red Bull on the move. Perez improves to third. Charles Leclerc tried to go past Lewis Hamilton, outside line to the inside line. Got to be brave to make that work. Is there room? There is. And that's a great angle to show you that getting to the apex first has worked. For the lead Ferrari driver in the race, he's 1.7 seconds away from Sergio Perez. He's going to have a good opportunity now to build up through the gears to try and make his way by. The Haas is in the way, but only for the moment. That's the pass he's been looking for, and the man on debut in Formula One is up to ninth. Kevin Magnussen has been given a 10-second time penalty for leaving the track and gaining an advantage.
You want me to go check?
Oh, you are kidding me, aren't you? 10 seconds for that.
That's harsh.
And the chance of a safety car with these four brawling in the way that they are, well, it goes up when they go side by side. Tsunoda's been looking for that pass lap after lap. Magnussen doesn't want to give it up. Brilliant racing from the pair of them. Magnussen knows that he's not going to score a point in the race. That is defiance, and it's cost Yuki Tsunoda because Esteban Ocon finally gives Alpine something to smile about.
So this drive from Magnussen is going to earn Haas a point because Hülkenberg, at the end of this lap, should have a pit stop window to come in and clear his teammate.
Whoa, that's a second and a half for Alexander Albon. Patience ran out at turn number one. It's only 14th, but it looked great on board. Yuki Tsunoda will not want to go backwards. The driver who started in 9th position on the grid is passed again. As Hülkenberg comes into the pits. We talked of that pit window a few moments ago, and Hülkenberg is going to blend out onto the racetrack, and Haas might have engineered a chance to get Hülkenberg into the points. We've had plenty of chapters of this battle time and time again. This is the best run for Oscar Piastri through the entire race, and Hamilton's defence comes to an end, or does it? Piastri locks up, takes the place, won't be able to overtake like that. He had the momentum, he had the overspeed, but he couldn't slow down the McLaren, and still they battle over 5th place.
Behrman, if he keeps this consistency, he's actually just done his best lap of the race. He's only a tenth and a half slower than Norris. Absolutely cracking drive this from Ollie Behrman.
Norris struggling a bit with tyres there. He's fighting with Hamilton as well. We can do it.
Great encouragement for the British driver, 18 years of age, looking for points in debut in Formula One. This was Daniel Ricciardo running in 16th place. Around he goes.
Clouting an apex curve, rear tyres that were probably on the limit already.
Max Verstappen is going to win the opening 2 Grand Prix of the year, a 9th consecutive win. Max Verstappen, eat, sleep, win, repeat. Verstappen takes the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix to lead home a Red Bull 1-2. An outstanding result for the team. Once again, the Mexican fans celebrating in that grandstand. Verstappen wins the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix with another drive of distinction as Charles Leclerc comes home for his first podium finish of the season. And look at this moment for the 18-year-old from Chelmsford. Points on debut for Oliver Behrman. Ferrari's youngest ever Formula One driver is a point scorer at the first attempt. The stars of the show on a day that they went past the great Williams name, 4th all-time in Formula One, behind Mercedes, behind McLaren, and behind Ferrari. They have earned their place there, and it's another 1-2 for the team. and Formula One is underway in Melbourne. Good reaction time at the front of the field for Carlos Sainz, but his path is blocked by Max Verstappen, who has the lead. Norris maintains third, Verstappen, Sainz, and then it is Lando Norris. A clean route through for all of those in the field. It'll be 19 now that Zhou Guanyu joins the race. It's Verstappen with the getaway that he needed. Then it's Sainz, Norris, Leclerc stayed ahead of Piastri. It's getting very, very tight between Perez and George Russell, and it's Russell who finds his way to hang on to the place. He moves up to 6th position, Perez down to 7th. It's as you were ahead. Here we go, the best chance to get past his old teammate. These two started life in Formula One together at Toro Rosso, and they're about to go wheel to wheel. You're watching a Ferrari take the lead of the Grand Prix. Carlos Sainz, first opportunity offered up, first opportunity taken, and the man who didn't race in the last round leads in round 3. The smoke.
It is smoke out of the back of Verstappen's car. For the first time in 2 years, reliability could be a question mark.
Can you believe what we're seeing? The man who has finished every Grand Prix since he retired from this one in 2022 has smoke from the rear of the car. Max Verstappen has an issue. He's still very close to the lead of the Grand Prix, but he might not have a tyre left at the end of it.
Where's that smoke coming from? Is it something on the rear right?
It's gone! It's gone! The man who was trying to win 10 Grand Prix in a row for the second time in his Formula One career will not continue the run. A fire at the back of the car. The dreams of victory gone.
Smoke. Blue smoke. Fire.
He has had Formula One set to easy, week in, week out, but he will not see the flag. He's retiring from the Australian Grand Prix, and in Melbourne, it's game on to win the Australian Grand Prix. And the World Championship leader, chasing title number 4, the first retirement against all expectations, and his 43 race finishing streak in Formula One comes to a fiery end.
Yeah, I've had an engine failure.
Oh, okay.
Engine failure.
Hamilton out of the race, our second retirement of the day. It's Verstappen and now it's Hamilton, and Mercedes have had a few worries about the power unit. This time it's taken out their 7-time world champion driver. The virtual safety car is now deployed. That was always coming, and everyone reduces their pace. If you pit under the virtual safety car, you save yourself about 7 seconds.
But look at the way Hamilton's parked as he gets out of the car. That'll take just seconds to push behind the wall. Well, there goes the engine in quite a severe way. Sudden cut for Hamilton. Second retirement, and Alonso, if he can scramble to the pit lane, will save himself 6.5, 7 seconds of pit stop time.
Alonso is looking for that benefit. It is a Ferrari 1-2 on track. Then Piastri and Lando Norris. Look at how much it pays you back if you pit under the virtual safety car. Fernando Alonso says, thank you very much. You can get rid of that virtual safety car now, chaps. We're ready to go racing again. We look at the live speeds of Russell and Perez building up through the gears, heading to 190 miles per hour and heading to an overtake. If Perez can just get close enough, does he have enough road to sweep around the outside? There is your answer. He did it in the final meters of the corner, but he got the move done. Russell, does he launch one to the inside? Can he launch one to the inside by way of response? The answer is no. Perez, P6, and that's another pass for him. He will go chasing Fernando Alonso.
Okay, DRS is now
In the
available.
final stages of this run, that Fernando Alonso will not have the speed of Perez. In fact, Alonso darting out of the way, doesn't want to get mixed up in the Mexican driver's race, and now that is 5th position for Perez, who has a bit of clear air. He's going to try and do something about the 4 in front of him.
There's the call. This is not going to be popular amongst the Aussies, but he's going to pull over, and Norris will sweep through for 3rd.
Piastri playing the team game. Norris is on tyres that are 5 laps younger than Oscar Piastri. Charles Leclerc hovering off the 2 quick drivers behind. It's going to be tight. Perez, Alonso chasing. 2.1 second stop was so important. This is going to give an opportunity now to Fernando Alonso. The 3 of them together. And Alonso's got a great opportunity. Which way does he go? Leclerc maintains track position. And Alonso, despite soaring to the left, to the right, can't find his way past Perez. And that was closer than Ferrari would have wanted. And you see Verstappen.
Okay, mate, I'm afraid that's race over. The stewards have black flagged you.
Teams who need to take their chance. And Alex Albon running as close as he dared to the back of the Haas, but not on the side of the racetrack that he needed to be. And Hulkenberg scampers clear. All the while this goes on, Tsunoda with RB's most important pit stop of the year so far, and he's back out ahead of both.
They're so dangerous. Moving.
This is how Oscar Piastri was able to take the position on the outside and then shown part of the racetrack he hasn't seen before, then given room by Fernando Alonso. This is Pierre Gasly and Yuki Tsunoda. Bomb move, and taking the place away from his old teammate and good friend. Just out of the points, these two. Kevin Magnussen thinking about the move to the inside. My word. Oh, he's thinking about it from miles back. He is all over the back of the Williams. It's going to be quick again. It's going to be very fast. This time, around the outside to take the place. Kevin Magnussen gets the move done. Oh, big crash. George Russell with a massive accident at the end of the Grand Prix at turn number 6. And that will end the race as a contest. The virtual safety car is out. George Russell was battling over 6th place, and this is how it came undone.
He got so close to Fernando on the way into the corner. It was just simple dirty air for Russell. And just simply didn't have the airflow over his car. Lost a load of downforce, turned in and had a major oversteer all the way to the barriers.
What a performance! What a comeback! A Ferrari 1-2, headed by Carlos Sainz, who wins the Australian Grand Prix.
Yes, we have it. P1, baby, P1. So maybe sharp move.
Good job, Carlos.
This is amazing. Thank you, guys. Life is a roller coaster.
It is
Life is incredible.
was a smooth operator.
Oh, I forgot. Smooth operator.
Carlos Sainz, the sensational winner of the Australian Grand Prix with his most dominant drive in Formula One. It says he only won by 2.3 seconds, but he was always in control of that one from the moment that Verstappen was out of the race. Here's what it does to the Drivers' Championship. Max Verstappen still leads, Charles Leclerc up to 2nd, down to 3rd goes Sergio Perez, up to 4th, our race winner today. In the Constructors' Championship, it's a Red Bull Racing on 97, but look at Ferrari on 93. It is time to go racing at Suzuka, and the Japanese Grand Prix is underway. Max Verstappen gets the launch off the line he was looking for. Alonso did get a good jump but couldn't do anything with it. Side by side we go with the McLaren and the Ferrari. Lando Norris is in 3rd. It's as you were. Verstappen, Perez, Norris, then Sainz, and Fernando Alonso couldn't make it work on those soft tyres. He remains in 5th as they make their way through and off into the wall. Off into the wall goes the two cars, and a big crash into the tyre barrier.
Yeah, it's going to be an immediate safety car then. It's heavy impact for Ricciardo and Albon. So Albon then gets a decent chance to come alongside, and there's the touch. So there was the driver on the inside of Ricciardo. Albon was sort of aiming towards a space that was closing. Oh, Daniel's come across on Alex Albon. I don't think that was particularly fair from Ricciardo there. I think he did have more space on the left-hand side.
Take 2 at Suzuka is 5 lights away. And the Japanese Grand Prix is go once again. And it was a good reaction time for Perez. Verstappen had to chop across. The top 4 are still in the same order. Who's feeling brave? The top 5 are still in the same order as Piastri tries to put pressure on Alonso and is not able to do so. They make their way through the S's. Can they all get through cleanly this time? The answer is yes to that. And it is Charles Leclerc, the big winner off the line. He's managed to dart ahead of Lewis Hamilton, the medium tyre trumping the hard.
Yeah, Pierre gave me a hit on the side. Let me know if it's okay.
Will do.
George Russell diving to the inside and retaking the place. He's up to 9th, and that is Valtteri Bottas saying goodbye to Esteban Ocon. Russell up to 9th, Bottas up to 11th, making moves early on with the DRS. Lando Norris is into the pits. The first McLaren in 4th place, responding to the Mercedes now being on the right tyre. Let's see where Lando Norris comes out. And McLaren dropped him in to a lovely gap. It looks like they have. And Norris has a bit of clear air. Next car up the road is Stroll.
With Yuki Tsunoda, the hard tyres having made a stop. Gasly ahead.
Hold on a minute. We're not going to see a move here, are we? What? Wonderful stuff. The Mercedes are swapping positions. Lewis Hamilton asking the team what they wanted to do. Russell goes up to 5th. So Max Verstappen has made his pit stop. You see that on the left-hand side. And Verstappen comes out. Oh, that is unbelievably close to try and go around the outside. Lando Norris goes the long way round and takes the place away from Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton under pressure. We're heading to the 130R. So close. And Hamilton has to cede the place. Oh, they're going so quickly as they turn left at that corner. Perez on the new mediums up to 5th.
I wonder if
DRS now enabled. DRS enabled.
Today, and Hamilton's maybe on a long one-stopper, Russell on something different, and that's why they swap positions fairly quickly.
Perez is going to line up once again at the 130R. Is he able to quickly get past George Russell? Russell has to give the room. Another pass on board with Perez, who sweeps by, makes use of that medium rubber and takes 4th place. As we're going to go very, very tight. No one wants to get past into the Spoon corner, but Hamilton's going to have to give the place, and he does so. Carlos Sainz, winner of the Australian Grand Prix.
Look out for a bit of understeer when trailing the car ahead. They're going to be giving off dirty air, which is going to affect our tyres, so try to get past.
That's the question we're posing as we build up to 200 miles per hour.
You need to slow down before hitting the corners. We don't want to get a penalty.
Retakes the lead of the race.
Okay, we've been given a time penalty. It will go against our finishing time. Are you okay? That was a big one. Confirm you're okay, please.
With these guys on much pressure tyres, softer compound as well for Sainz, on the inside into Spoon, and through he goes. It's an absolute carbon copy of the pass he did on Hamilton.
There's Perez making the move to the inside and taking 3rd position. Clean pass, making the move. Lando Norris really chooses his battles carefully in Formula One. Incredible spectacle outside the commentary box there. There's a huge gaggle of cars came into the pits at the same time. Magnussen, Bottas, Sargent, and a change for position. Look at this, look at this. And we've got a terrific move there for Yuki Tsunoda. The crowd are cheering once again. He's found himself out ahead there, and they all came in together, bottled up by Kevin Magnussen. That was the gap that Mercedes were waiting to clear, and you can see why.
It's as if, so on the last stint, Bottas pitted before anyone else, had a slow stop, but because he had fresher tyres for one lap, managed to effectively undercut his way back to where he was.
Guys, well done, thank you. Top job, guys. Top job.
Good.
Charles Leclerc out qualified by Carlos Sainz on a couple of occasions in a row now. Wide moment for Leclerc, who goes off the road and loses the place. Sergio Perez is up to 2nd position. Can Lando Norris inflict more hurt on Charles Leclerc? There could be a real opportunity for Stroll to try and make the place on Tsunoda, who's trying to get by. Ancient tyres on that car, but Hülkenberg holds the place, and this is the worst case scenario for Tsunoda, because now Stroll can tuck in, and it's getting really tight. Can he do another amazing move? My goodness me, it was nearly that corner again for RB. That was so tight, and he's trying to use the extra grip. 27 lap old tyres, he's gonna do it again, and the crowd absolutely love it. Tsunoda through at the S's for the 2nd time in the Grand Prix. To the names that you can now see passing him on the screen. Degner 2 has been causing issues all the way through, and I believe that Sargent has gone off the track there. And that is not a great place to reverse a Formula One car onto. Well, Here he is, building up to 200 miles per hour out of the slipstream. DRS wide open. Carlos Sainz fights his way by to 4th position. Right now, he's focusing on getting past his teammate and moving up. There's the defense from Charles Leclerc, but the DRS and the speed belongs to Carlos Sainz. Oh, that's a late dive bomb move, or an attempt for one for George Russell, going wheel to wheel with Oscar Piastri. Piastri refusing to give that one up, keeps the track position. Russell will be on the radio to complain. And George Russell's got a big opportunity now. George Russell, suddenly, Piastri is going to let Russell out of the slipstream. He can't defend. They both had DRS, but George Russell takes the place on the final lap of the Grand Prix. Downhill to victory for the reigning world champion. Max Verstappen returns to victory. Max Verstappen wins the Japanese Grand Prix. And it's a Red Bull 1-2, thanks to Sergio Perez. 4 Grand Prix, 4 1-2s, 1 for Ferrari, 3 for Red Bull. And next up, we return to the Chinese Grand Prix, the first time since 2019. The race in Shanghai begins in 5 lights time. The Chinese Grand Prix is underway, and Max Verstappen gets the launch he needs to chop across Sergio Perez. Fernando Alonso, does he feel brave to sweep around the outside of the Mexican driver? Gets the jump at the moment. Is the grip there? Alonso's being really brave, but the grip runs out. He's got the inside line. He's got 2nd position. He moves past Perez as Verstappen holds the lead. But look at the traction that Alonso's got fighting the car. It is Verstappen, Alonso, then Perez. We're on board with 4th place Lando Norris.
Alonso was working so hard to bring those tyres to life on the warm-up lap, and it's paid off. The commitment and confidence he had around the outside of turn 1 was staggering. Thought he was going to have a look at P1 for a minute as well.
Oh, that really was an aggressive start by the driver in the green Aston Martin, Lando Norris, chasing down Perez. Perez did not enjoy racing in the pack earlier on. And if you're thinking, who's that in the Haas? That is Nico Hülkenberg, up 2 places. A poor getaway for both Ferraris. Leclerc down to 8th, Sainz down to 9th. The team's trying to get the tyres up to temperature, trying to make overtakes, as we see now a big opportunity for Charles Leclerc, trying to make amends for losing places off the line, and he makes the pass into turn 14, gets past Hülkenberg, who's down to 8th.
Sainz trying to come with him as well. Hülkenberg on the inside into the final corner. That'll compromise his exit, and Sainz could do with clearing the Haas as soon as possible, maybe into turn 1 here.
Let's see, he pulls out of the slipstream, building up to 200 miles per hour. DRS is now enabled, but Sainz didn't have to wait for it. Hülkenberg knows his fight is not with the cars from Maranello.
Looks like Alonso's pushing their tyres a lot harder than us. This is good.
It is good news. Will there be any defence offered by Fernando Alonso, or does he have to think about the long game? And Sergio Perez powers by and retakes 2nd place in the Grand Prix. So, here we go with the young British driver Lando Norris trying to get past the oldest driver in the field, Fernando Alonso, focusing on the race again. Park it on the apex. He tried that on the lap to the grid, and Lando Norris takes 3rd place. This is so important for Leclerc to try and make the pass early using one of the DRS zones. How brave is Leclerc feeling? Now that move isn't done yet, but Leclerc makes the pass, shuts the door, and takes the long way round to take 6th place. There's an opportunity now for the Ferrari. That was late to pull out of the slipstream, but that's another position gained. The man from Monaco. Through goes Charles Leclerc. He's up to 5th, and he's going chasing Fernando Alonso. Here's our race leader, Max Verstappen, all by himself. As Perez comes in fact, he's so far ahead.
Okay, the stewards have given you a 3-second time penalty for contact with other cars. That's 3 seconds to be added to our race time.
2 stops back to back. Problem for Valtteri Bottas. He'd been having a good weekend.
I'm afraid you've been given a time penalty for that last incident, mate.
Still, he can't find his way to the top 10.
Thankfully for Norris, he will take the 8-second benefit that you get for pitting under the VSC. 15-second loss instead of a 23.
And the full safety car is out. They cannot move that car due to this man's retirement. and into the pits.
Okay, so that was a bad start, but don't overreact. We can salvage this.
Red Bull will have to double stack once again.
Perez is going to lose track position here.
So through goes Norris, up to second place. It will change for you on the left-hand side, and Perez drops down. Now, Alonso comes into the pits. Can Leclerc get out before the Mexican driver? Can he get to that safety car line? I think he's going to do it, and he gets past. So it's Verstappen, Norris, and Charles Leclerc as Perez rejoins. Here we go. Lock up for everyone. Oh, contact at the back between Stroll and I think Ricciardo. As Max Verstappen, yeah, Hülkenberg moves up, Ricciardo moves down. It was a mess at the hairpin. The green flag flies once again at Shanghai International, and it's a great restart for Verstappen. This was at the hairpin. Oh,
we can now use DRS. DRS now available.
Into the back of Daniel Ricciardo for Stroll, who then had to pit. This is what it looked like on board. They just clobbered him. So Stroll, who was hoping to return to the points today and had a good spin in the background for one of the V-carbs. And there you go. Oh, that is so disappointing for Yuki Tsunoda, who is pulling off. And will that require more intervention? That car looks like it's in trouble at the back.
Watch out for understeer in the wake of the car ahead. Try to get past as quickly as you can. Push, push.
Damage to the front left for Magnussen. Puncture, maybe more for Yuki Tsunoda. This is on board the Japanese driver. And this was against Carlos Sainz, and that's the soft tyre in full operating. Well, it caused chaos, but once he
the stewards have given us a 10-second time penalty.
Take two. This time the pass for Stroll, who's able to get past. Magnussen leaves a wheel in, and they somehow make their way round the corner. Stroll leaves the widest berth possible, and this is really, really great battling for the last place on the road, because Daniel Ricciardo has come into the pits, and we're scrapping all the way through the order. But Stroll in the green Aston Martin and Magnussen finding himself back ahead for the time being. It's as you were into the hairpin, or is it late lunchtime now for the Canadian driver? Gets to the apex first. Will that be the pass? Oh, they're treating us.
The track is clear, green flag.
Through this one. Magnussen doesn't want to give the place up, and they'll still continue this journey. I've got to bring you in now.
This is our new Villeneuve.
Yellow flag.
Isn't it? A lap of wheel-to-wheel action, swapping places. Every corner. Here comes Magnussen again around the outside.
And this time, Stroll's elbow is out to claim the place. And this is the move for Perez, trying to get past Charles Leclerc. Can Leclerc place the Ferrari in order to fight back? It's going to be close between these two. Side by side they go. No. Perez gets ahead. Alonso can take that soft tyre no further. And they felt the need to roll the dice, but it's not paid off. These two were not on the friendliest terms. Former teammates by the end of their time together, and Alonso will have to make the move as quickly as possible. Man, that is a quick direction change, and that is as quickly as possible. And it will not be a contest with fresh tyres. With DRS, he ceded the place to get rid of the softs. He put on the medium tyres, and another place gained by Fernando Alonso, who goes after Lewis Hamilton, who's up 10 places at the moment. Oh, he nearly dropped it from the gravel and did a Carlos Sainz from yesterday. Alonso so nearly into the barrier and out of the race. How has he done that? 42 years of age, but still providing box office moments. Fernando Alonso past Lewis Hamilton and up to 8th. It could have all been over a few corners ago. To the hairpin, turn 14, another position gained and up to 7th position. For the first time in his career, Max Verstappen.
Okay, gap to the car in front, 3.2 seconds.
In Shanghai, his 58th Formula One win, and he has destroyed the field once more. The Dutchman leads home Lando Norris. 2 Red Bulls on the podium thanks to Sergio Perez. And a first victory in Shanghai for Max Verstappen, who extends his lead in the Drivers' Championship.
Caution, caution.
Nearly here. And the Miami
green
Grand
flag
Prix is underway. Poor start for Charles Leclerc. Through goes Carlos Sainz. Max Verstappen maintains the lead. Oh, he was nearly hit by his teammate. That was so close.
Hey, if you don't behave yourself from now on, we're going to end up disqualified.
But he went deep into the first turn, and that very nearly was contact between the two Red Bulls. They got away with it though. Down to fifth goes Sergio Perez. Max Verstappen leads. Then it's Leclerc. Oscar Piastri, the big winner. He is up 3 places to third. Sainz is fourth. Then Perez. My word, that was dramatic into turn number 1 as they tried to make their way through the first of 57 laps. But Perez was millimeters away from striking his teammate. Went to the inside line of that first turn. No grip. Dirty, dusty, and he very nearly made contact. They got away with it.
Yeah, he looks like he's got cards on the top of his helmet. He went all in and almost all the way into his teammate. He will never be so lucky again. It just feels as if Verstappen just doing enough to keep that gap beyond DRS. And not wanting to put too much stress on the tyres as well, as here he comes.
Oh, thinking about the move, diving to the inside. Leclerc trying to be respectful. Well, it was after you or after you.
Okay, you've just started the final lap of the race. Final lap.
Piastri is up to second position. That is Hamilton making the move and getting past Hulkenberg up to 7th place.
Just had a big crash there. Yeah, we saw that.
And now Hulkenberg's back in front.
Hulkenberg occupying 7th position. The main battle you're looking at is Lewis Hamilton trying to get back.
Okay,
past
gap
Hulkenberg.
ahead,
Somebody did before.
11.2 seconds.
Slipstream, went back in again, now to the inside of turn 11, and Lewis Hamilton gets that pass done for the second time today. Hulkenberg down to 8th. Now at turn 11, are we going to get the pass for George Russell? He's managed to get there. One Mercedes went by before. There are still 2 Pirellis on that racetrack, and Russell makes the pass to improve to 8th place. The man from Monaco hits his marks, and that is a quick stop for Ferrari.
Okay, clear.
Race leader with the
Yellow
swap
flag.
trying to take avoiding action.
Okay, be aware there's an incident in the next part of the track. No overtaking through the yellow
To
flags.
the pits, he blends in, that's the blend line to the pit lane, and he had a lead of 3.6 seconds as he hands it over to his team. Oscar Piastri leads the Grand Prix for McLaren. Now, is there a chance for Fernando Alonso to get past Pierre Gasly? Alonso, who had a really tough start after his worst qualifying of the year yesterday, gets to the apex first, and Alonso moves up and takes 14th position. We've got Esteban Ocon making moves as well. Alpine searching for their first points of the year. That is him moving past, and Ocon able to get past the Haas. Fernando Alonso is going to make the move now on that medium tyre up against Hulkenberg, and he manages to fight his way by. Oh, Hulkenberg refuses to give it up. In the end, has no choice. Chance for another overtake, heading to turn number 1, and the Mercedes of George Russell gets past Esteban Ocon. That's for 11th place. Piastri maintaining track position. Former race leader Max Verstappen goes through, so does Charles Leclerc, and Lando Norris continues to circulate out there. Off the road goes Kevin Magnussen, and looking at our driver tracker, Logan Sargent might be there as well. The home favourite, the full safety car is out. Lando Norris is going to get the benefit. You only lose 9